Hey everybody, today's card is this really sweet watercolor. Remember how I was telling you watercolor and gold is going to be really popular this year? So even though I didn't use the gold, this one does utilize the watercolor. Let me zoom in. And so the vases were done with this cute stamp set out of the Occasions Mini called Vivid Vases. Ooh, Vivid Vases. And then I use Stazon, Black Stazon, on watercolor paper. So I'll give you a list, but I just want to show you. First of all, let's get going on stamping up the vases and then coloring them. So I'm taking Stazon pad, inking it up upside down so I can make sure I've got plenty of ink. Now watercolor paper is a little different than our standard vanilla in that it takes a while for it to absorb. So I'm going to put that stamp down and I'm just going to hold it, count to 5. And let's see how well I did. Wow, very nice. A little crooked, but we can make it work. Okay, so then what I did is I took some markers. Let me zoom you in. So I took some markers and I colored just in a circle around. I did that one, I did that one. Okay. And this guy, I'm just going to run up the middle with my rich Razzelberry, and I'll show you why. Because I'm going to pull out this watercolor pen, and I'm going to squeeze a little bit of water through it, but I don't want a lot. So I'm going to dab it off, and then I'm going to come back in and wet it. Now, the reason why watercolor paper works so well is it kind of holds that water, and then the ink just spreads through the water. Now, just kind of makes it softer, easier to paint. Okay. And I'm going to go back in with my Aqua Painter, pick up some of the color, and then it's going to allow me to paint the stems in a really soft green. Old olive. Want some more? It's better to start out very light and soft and then go back in. Less is good in the watercolor world. Okay, so now I'm going to take the Bermuda Bay, and with our pads you can just squeeze them and flip it over and see your lid has all this wonderful color for you to play with. And again, you don't want a lot of water. I don't want to pull it over. And you want to start light and go back dark. So I'm just going to take and go to the outside like this. You always want to leave, see how I left a little white spot there? You always want to do that. Don't color in the whole thing. And be consistent. Always have that same light spot on the same side of the vase so we know that that's where the light's coming from. And that time I got a little dark. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back a little darker, and I'm just going to outline my jug. Maybe across the bottom. Using the Aqua Painter. Give it interest. And you see how dark I've gone back. And this may take a little practice, but try it. And I'm going to go back. There's too much white here, so I'm going to fill some of it in. Okay. Alright, I like what I see, so I'm done with the watercolor. Let me show you the rest of the steps on the card. For this background, okay, I'm going to zoom you back out. Alright, so the background on this piece of paper is just a 4 by 5 1/4. And here's a tip not everybody knows, so I'll show you. I'm taking this Positively Chevron stamp. It's so big that I'm going to do it upside down. The reason why I'm doing it upside down is I can see that I'm covering the whole stamp with ink. Then I'm going to lay my piece of paper, my cardstock that I want the background to be on. Lay it right on top. And then I have this piece of scratch paper. And I'm going to lay it on top, and then I'm going to use my hands and I'm going to rub. Feel every corner of the stamp. Especially in the middle. Because if you have problems, usually it's the image doesn't come out in the middle of the cardstock. Okay, let's pull it off. See how I did. Woo! Very nice. Very, very nice. Turned out great. Okay, so from here, all we're doing is taking cardstock, Bermuda Bay, and we're folding it in half. And this piece is 4 1/4 by 11. And then I'm just going to glue this straight down, making sure our margins are even. And then this piece I'm going to pop up using dimensionals. And then I'm going to take this strip and put it right across the front here. Go. And then I just grab my button, my silver button. I use a glue dot, and then this is silver baker's twine with a little bit of silver, really, really pretty. And this is in the occasions. Most of this is in the occasions except for the background stamp. So I'll list that on the blog or on the video. And I use glue dots on that. So there you go. That's a really quick watercolor artsy card for you to do. Any linear stamp you can do that same technique with. So it's a great technique. And this is probably one of the neatest tools because you're not always hunting water. It's right there in your pen. So hope you enjoyed it.